Hi, this is Prof. Redder. The assignment is described in this PDF, and it's to write this little number addition thing that you've already written. Some of you I know have already written it. And the description for how to do it is in that place right there. If you copy that and paste it into here, you may or may not get what you want. It's probably going to tell you something like this. It's page not found. And that's because it thinks that that hyphen after GUI in this assignment page is actually a hyphen to say that goes with that. It does some smart calculations and gets it wrong. So you need to come up here and put a hyphen in there, and you'll end up at this page. Whoops, hold on just a moment. My bad, because it has to say .html, which is in here. As you can see, I just didn't grab it. But it still needs to have that hyphen in there. And when you do that, you'll get this page that you see that describes precisely how to go about building this project that we're going to be dealing with. As I described elsewhere, especially in this document, I want you to use NetBeans. And this NetBeans description, this tells you how to go or where to go to download it and to install it. And then you'll need to go here so you'll understand how to use it a little bit. But this is the app that you're going to end up creating. This is what NetBeans looks like. And the app that you'll create for this looks like this document right here. This is assignment 1. And we're going to go back here and we're going to look at that one in a minute. But for right now, this is the app for assignment 1. It looks like this. This is very much like using Visual Studio as well in terms of dragging controls onto a form. If you follow all the rules, it tells you exactly how to deal with it. We're going to use something called Swing, and it has these controls that we can drag. And I'm going to show you a little bit more of that here in just a bit. So with that in mind, we won't need them to build it. We want to know how to run the thing, and you can run it simply by clicking that button, or as you can see, you can press F6, but click on that button, which is my preferred way to do it, and it pops up. Yours will probably pop up in the upper left hand corner of the screen, and I'm going to show you how to make it pop up in the middle of the screen. Not in the middle of the app, the NetBeans app, but actually in the middle of the screen, which is way up here for me. Okay, so what we've got now is the ability to run an app, and actually for this one it didn't run this one, it ran this one instead, and this is part of what I want to show you how to do. Here's the main menu app, which really is just an app that knows how to go to other apps. So I'm going to click on Number Addition. This is the number adder, the app that you'll create through that website that I pointed out to you, and you can type in numbers here and you can add them together and you get values. You can clear those and you can click on Exit. You can also click on this X, which will close both of these windows, and you can also add more things to this. So what I'm going to give you today is what you see so far. I'm going to give you this and this. I'm going to actually give it to you in this structure that you'll see, except for the test packages. I don't think it's going to be included. Pardon me. And I'm going to show you some things about how to deal with that to make it happen. This structure will then become the structure that you'll use for much of this course to submit work or to build your work, and then you're going to submit it through another avenue, the same kind of avenue as where I use or where I'm going to provide it to you. What I want to make sure you know, though, is that even though I'm giving you this code, I don't want you necessarily to use it. You can use it, especially the main menu, but I really need you really need you to build this code yourself, to do this application. And it's given in step-by-step instructions. It will do you great good to do this yourself, because you'll see some things that you wouldn't even see if I were to do it on the screen here. And so I want you to do it, and I want you to be observant about what you're doing so that you can understand these very fundamental techniques that are going to pay off in great ways for you if you'll give it some time. All right, so what I want to do is I'm going to close this up, and I'm going to close this, and I'm going to show you something that I need you to be able to deal with. That's this right here. Let me get that sized just a little bit better. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to github.com. Now, my system is set up so that it just logs me in, and actually if I'm already logged in, it won't, but it's already logged in, and so my system is set up this way. And this is a collection of repositories that I've used for a variety of purposes over the past year or two. And a repository is simply a place to keep code and other documents that you want to have available at a wide variety of places. In other words, this is a repository that's stored on the cloud, or in the cloud if you prefer. What I need you to do is to create a GitHub account. And you just go right here, GitHub. I could log out here, and it would look like this when I get here. And you can click on sign up there. Follow the instructions. It's very simple to create a GitHub account, and you just have to give it ever so little information, and then you'll have a GitHub account. Here's mine. I'm going to sign in there. This is what it looks like. And if you look right here, you'll see what my Programming 2 repository looks like. I'm going to ask you to create a repository named Programming-2 so that I'll know where to go on your repository to look for your work. And that way I can help you, I can evaluate you, and I can maybe give you some advice about what you've done wrong even. Or maybe not even. I certainly will. So the structure of this is as follows. The whole project is made up of this thing called main menu. And that's the app that shows up. Let me get that one showing you. That's this thing that shows up right here. And what I want you to do is something called cloning. And I'll show you how to clone that from here. So if we look at this, let me see, I got the wrong one, I think. There. So if we look at this, what I want to do is to be able to clone this. The structure is that within this, there is a NetBeans project, which will save you a bunch of time when you clone it. And you'll see what cloning means here in a few minutes. Also, a folder that shows the main menu files as well as the number edition files. Then, main menu, then there's also a license and a README. I'm going to ask that when you create a new repository, that you will create a license and a README. Let me show you how to do that right now. If I click on Create New Repository, I go up here and click on Repositories right there. I come up here and click on New. It gives me this creation window, Create a New Repository. You'll type in Programming-2. By the way, GitHub is free. It's also public, and so everything you see will be visible to the world. Everything you create here will be visible to the world unless you pay for it to be private. And you can give a description here, which is optional, as you can see. But to get a README, you click on this, and to get a license, you pick your license. And I'm not going to tell you what kind of license you ought to have. You can pick whatever one you want. And you're going to have to defend your decision at some point to me. But for right now, just pick one and you'll have a license. And then you click on Create Repository, which I'm not going to do because I'm not ready for that right here. So here I've got this Programming-2 repository. I want you to clone it. To do that, we have to tell it, and let me tell you what cloning means first. I want you to create a copy of this thing that's on this GitHub repository and put it on your local machine. This is going to be a really wonderful thing to have at your disposal. And it's going to, if you don't already do this, it'll change your outlook on software development, I think. It has for me, because this is a wonderful tool. So what I'm going to do is click on clone or download. And what I want is to tell NetBeans to come over here to GitHub, get this copy of this and copy it to my local machine, and then to allow me to create a NetBeans project, or yeah, okay, we'll say create a NetBeans project with the stuff that we get. All you need is that string right there that goes on clear out to here. And all you need to do is just click on that copy to clipboard button, and it copies that string for you. That's absolutely all you have to do. You get to d-reader, that's the place that you'll find my repository. And if you want to find it, you can just say, let's do this, GitHub d-reader. And there it is right there. It'll show up right there at the top. That's my repository, and you can see that's what it looked like when we came in. So what I want you to do is to simply click on that, copy that to the clipboard, and then you'll be able to come here, click on team, come down here to remote, and click on clone. And it wants to know where the repository is that you want to clone. So I'm going to put it right here. That's the thing that I pasted. Now I have authenticated access to this because it's mine. You'll have authenticated access to yours because it's yours. If you want to get to my repository just to retrieve things, everybody can do that. And so you'll leave these two blank for mine, to get to mine, or to each other's. But by the way, that means that you can share things with each other over this facility, and I don't object to that if you all do the same, if you all do your own work. But so anyway, this will log me into mine, but you won't use a username and password there. And I want to put this in a place that I got to delete it here just a minute. Okay, I'm going to put it in this place on my local machine. I can find it by clicking browse, and I want to put it in documents, prog2 video. This means programming to video. Should really, and that's good. And it'll create that folder in my documents folder, and then I want to create another folder within that for programming too. So that's where it's going to send it. So it's going to come from here and put it here. So let me tell it, yep, that's good for me. And you can search around using the browse. Click on next. Now this doesn't mean much to you right now, but it will. But this is what's called the main branch, or the master branch of your development environment or your development process. There will be others, maybe not even in this course, but there will be others in your professional life. So if this happens not to be checked, check it, and then click on next. And you'll see here that it says, well, I'm going to put this in that folder, and I'm going to put it in that folder underneath this. That's the name of the clone. I'm going to check out the master branch and just leave these things as they are, and click on finish. Notice down here that it says it's running, and it's finished. Actually, it's done with the clone completed. It's already downloaded the clone, and it says, do you want to open the project or not? This is going to ask it to open the sources in this favorites window, which you don't need to do, and you could do it later. This says, yeah, you want to open the project and you want it to be in here. So I'm going to click on open project, and so now you see that this thing is a little different from the one we started with. Notice this has test packages, and it has library or test libraries. So this, I've been messing with it a little bit, and we'll get to that, but yours comes looking like this. So I'm going to close this one up. Let me just close that. This is actually the one I had already. The one that's remaining here is the one that we just went to d-reader to get this from the Programming 2 repository. And look what we've got. We've got this. We've got an assignments folder. There's the main menu folder. There's the number edition UI. We're in business. And in fact, you should be able to just click on that button and run the thing. And there it is. I've got number addition as a project, and I can do this addition. It all runs just fine. Click add, and I can exit. Everything's good. So that's about 17 or 18 minutes long. I think I'll leave that at that point. I'll be creating yet another video that talks about how to add a project to this collection of projects so that you can add a button here, cause it to do like this button does, except take you to some different project. And we're going to build these projects all, most of the projects, if not all of them, will be projects that appear on one or more dialog boxes, or forms if you want to call them that. So with that in mind, I hope this will be useful to you. You need to be going off and creating your GitHub repository just as quickly as you can. It's the right place to go put things. It's free. It's widely used. And frankly, it can end up being your repository that you deal with somewhat like a portfolio when you're looking for work. So with that in mind, I'll talk to you on another video soon. Have a good day.